The first rule in grip sport is you tell everyone about grip sport.
You know, crushing, pinch grip, thick bar, wrists.
If the best guy in the world can't lift 100 pounds on it, I don't give a shit about it.
Hi everyone, as a special for the Grip Show, here's a tour of my home gym, which serves as the main training hub for Team Ottawa. Some of you might recognize this from other videos because I have hosted a couple of dozen contests here over the years. I've got a lot of stuff, primarily because I run a lot of contests, so you tend to need more things. If I start here, as you enter, I have a set of Sledgehammers ranging from 4 pounds all the way to 16 pounds. I don't use them, train for them that much, although like anything, if it's an event in an upcoming contest, I will use them a bit more. I have 3 weight plate trees stands for lots of weights. As I said, I run a lot of contests and I like to include medleys. And when you run medleys, you need a lot of weight plates. This is what I started with, more of the metal plates, and then in recent years I bought a set of calibrated competition plates from Rowe, both rubber plates and the metal plates. Here we get some Anvils. I have, I think, 7 or 8 Anvils. I've been lucky to find them all locally, or at least within a short driving distance, because these things are expensive and you don't want to start having to pay for shipping on top of that. Here I have a 100 pounder, a 150 or 149, a 172 and a 174. I've bought them over the years, over the past 10 years, and I've tried to get a few different weights to match a few different challenges. The classic Joe Anvil weighs, I think, 173, so I'm really happy to have a 172 and a 174. Just because if ever I get a chance to try the actual Joe Anvil, I'll have an idea what to expect. Here is my very first, this is my second inch that I bought. This is a Selene inch that I bought from Selene. I picked it up at Living Legends back in 2019, so it saved me the shipping cost. Over here, I recently got it organized and got some system to hang everything on the wall. So, a wide variety of grip equipment, handles, many different makes and models. If you just getting into grip and you're just training your grip, you don't need to get everything under the sun. But because I compete a lot, because I organize contests, I do like to have a bit of everything. I have a lot more as we go here. Lots of different handles. Down here, this is a stronger grip, 3-inch rotating handle, shot loadable dumbbell. The World Arm Wrestling League bought one of these a few years ago when they were running these events, I guess, to build up their fan base, and they had that loaded. I don't think it was loaded with very much weight, but it was for people to come and try to lift it. I currently have it loaded to about 140 pounds, and this is the weight I used for the medley at the North American Championships this year. It's a decent challenge, and having a big hand definitely helps. Some more Anvils over here. That's a 124, and the back here is a 80 pounder. And this one here is a 49 pounder. Tons of loading pins. As I said, I like to run medleys, and you need a lot of them. Different shapes and sizes. More handles here. Over on this side at the top, this is where I store my grippers. I have the 7IM tugs. And then these are grippers from all different companies, different makes. And they go from the lightest. So I start with a guide here on the end, all the way to the end. And I finish with a number 4 over there. You know, the reason I have so many is primarily because in case I ever run grip contests where I want to have grippers as an event. So I do have, you know, a gripper for every 3 or 4 pounds. I don't use them all, especially near the far end, because I'm not that strong in grippers, but I have them for those who want to try. Some interesting stuff here. Oh, here. A couple of green scale weights, 50 pounds, I bought locally. And this is an excavator bucket. A few years ago, you know, I walked by a construction site, I'm like, man, it has a big handle, I'd just love to try to lift it. And I always thought it would be a cool thing to have in a grip contest. So to my surprise, on Facebook Marketplace a few years ago, I found a company getting rid of a few buckets, so I was able to buy one. I think I paid 300 bucks Canadian, which is, for me, was fine, because, you know, I'd been looking out for one, and this is a really nice size. It's large enough to be pretty impressive to look at. The handle is not huge. I think it's 1.4 inches in diameter, and you can straddle it and lift it. At the North American Championships, I think I had 125 in plates loaded, and that bucket itself weighs 127, so it was a 252 pound one-hand lift, which a lot of people were able to do. I have some blobs here. I only have 3 blobs. I don't have as many. I'm not a blob specialist. I would like to have more, but I don't like to pay for shipping on these things, so it's more when I can pick them up or when I'm at a contest. I do have a blob 50, which I had to work to be able to lift, but now I can do. When I first purchased it, it really felt, to me, impossible. My hand is not, I guess, just not built for blob lifting, so I really had to train to be able to lift it. I have a half 90, which to me is just about the same level of difficulty as a blob, because I think it is a little wider. So very similar feel to me. And then the smaller one is a half 65. Which isn't too bad. Here is my 1st inch dumbbell. I bought this back in 2010 from Jason Adamski, directly from him. I think back then I got it for 450 US, but with the shipping and the taxes as it crossed the border, you know, it almost doubled the price. So I don't know. I think I paid close to $1,000 Canadian for this. When you buy equipment, you know, shipping is expensive, but when it crosses a border, it just adds that much more on. You know, people who are in Europe or Australia can attest that it can get crazy. Anyway, I was really happy to buy this. This was my very first piece of grip equipment before I even started competing in grip. Was this inch dumbbell, just because I knew it would be a cool challenge, and I was pretty sure I'd be able to lift it, having been training on the Rolling Thunder for a while, and I just expected to be able to lift it. And the day I got it, I did. I lifted it very easily, right hand, left. I got it to hop, but I couldn't lock it out. And a funny story, on the grip board, I posted that, you know, I just purchased the inch dumbbell, and I was able to lift it. And then my thread got locked, and basically, because I was making an assertion without any proof of a world-class lift, it wasn't accepted. So a week later, I filmed myself lifting it up, and I think I held it for like 20 seconds. So yeah, that was just to demonstrate that I could in fact lift it. Anyway, so I thought that was a bit of a funny story. So, but this is the first one. 14 years now I've had it. This is a huge ship anchor. And I found this a couple summers ago locally, thank God. I always thought, man, it would be cool to have a big anchor in a strength contest. And I wasn't even sure what type of event to use it for. But when I had someone, once again, on Marketplace trying to get rid of this, I'm like, oh my God, this is the perfect size, perfect weight. It weighs about 270. There was a big metal bar coming out of this part, and perpendicular. And it was too bad I couldn't couldn't bring it into the house with that thing. So I told the guy, I want it, but I can't take the crossbar. Can you cut it? And he said, no problem. And I went to pick it up one evening with Zach Ebel, and the guy had a reciprocating saw, and I think he assumed he'd have power, but for whatever reason he didn't have power. He didn't have access to the power that he thought he would, but luckily he did have a battery. The battery was enough to get through 2/3 of the bar, which was not all of it. And I'm like, well, I can't take it unless you can get off. And then he just whacked at it with a sledgehammer for a few minutes, and it finally broke off. So Zach and I were able to load it in my minivan and bring it home. And getting it down the stairs, that was, just because it's such an awkward shape, it was a bit of a challenge. But it's here now. I haven't used it in a grip contest yet. I haven't figured out exactly how best to use it. We came up with a few different ideas, but I may eventually include it in a medley for a contest I hold here, because I don't really want to be lugging this outside of my house too often. This is a Clevis, 132-pound Clevis. Bought this on eBay at least a dozen years ago. So once again, the shipping was pretty expensive. I just thought that would be a cool one-handed lift. The pin itself is over 3 inches in diameter, so it's a little challenge. And they had that in the North American Championships as well. This is I had this made by Gil Goodman at Barrel Strength Systems. It's shot loadable or loadable. It's like a circus style old time weight. So it's empty, but it can be loaded probably up to 300 or 400 pounds. And you can use any attachment you want. So any grip attachment I want, I can just load it on there and load it with other weight. I just thought it looked cool, just for the visual appeal. Here's an arm wrestling table. That's my first sport. I've been arm wrestling since '96. I haven't competed in the past few years, so I'm somewhat retired from the sport, at least for now. I may return to it someday, but it's not getting much use these days. But it is a nice stand for a Titan's telegraph key, which I like to use during my pinch sessions. Down here, we have a variety of bars, axle bars. I have Ironmine axle, Andrews axle. I have a 3-inch axle, 2 different Saxon bars. I have a few that are loaded up right now. This is training for stage 2, or only taking Super Series, and this is a 2x5 Saxon bar. Also have an elliptical here. These are pieces that I clear out of the room when I'm hosting contests, but an elliptical, a flat bench, another bench, and a squat rack, which I use for general weight training. As for decor, this is where I keep all my awards, because my spouse doesn't really want them anywhere else in the house, so they're all in here. These are things I've won over the years in either arm wrestling or grip contests. People have asked me, do I have a favorite one? I don't have one of my favorites would definitely be this one, this alligator trophy. I won this at a World Arm Wrestling League regional championship back in 2017. It was only went to first place finishers, and I had a really dramatic come from behind win. I made it to the finals, where it was a 3 out of 5 format. I lost the first 2 matches very quickly, and somehow I found a way to stop the match in the third, and then I won matches 3, 4, and 5. So that one was pretty special. I won that in New Orleans, Louisiana, 2017. So that was a special one. But lots of great memories over the years. I also have banners or posters of things I've helped organize, either organized or been part of, or just like. These are banners that I get made every year for the Ottawa Open Arm Wrestling Championships, where I list the winners of every class. I was lucky enough to win the left-hand class at 210 pounds in 2018. Have some good company there with Devin Larrett and many others. GSI banner. Oh, that's the heavy hands belt that I won last year. An old poster of the Petaluma World Wrestling Championship from 1974. That's a cool eBay find. Of course, King Kong. Here's a map of where I track places where I've competed before, either competed or held a contest, either in arm wrestling or grip. You know, it's just a map of, you know, within a few hundred kilometers where I live, so can't put everything on here, but you know, most of the places I've competed have been within driving distance over the years. And then I have a lot of pictures, a lot of my kids competing in either grip or arm wrestling. Nice memories. And then some of my good memories in grip or arm wrestling contests around the world, Russia, World Arm Wrestling League Championships. There's a Ottawa High Hookers group shot from 2010. I thought this was cool. This was an ad in Iron Mind, the Iron Mind Milo, or maybe even the Iron Mind catalog, I can't remember, but Randall used a pic of my forearm to advertise the Heavy Hammer 2 leverage bar. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So there you have it. If ever you're in Ottawa, you want to train grip, get in touch with me. If you're in the area you want to compete, let me know. I host 3 or 4 contests a year, whether it's here or at a location nearby. Don't hesitate to contact me.